Quantitative Trading. Chapter 1: The What, Who's, and Why of Quantitative Trading. Who can become a quantitative trader? The business base case for quantitative trading. Scalability. Demand on time. Non-necessity of marketing. Way up forward. 2. Fishing for ideas. How to identify a strategy that suits you, your working hours, your programming skills, your trading capital, your goals. A taste for plausible strategies and their pitfalls. How does it compare with the benchmark and how consistent are its returns? How deep and long is drawdown? How do transactions costs affect the strategies? Does the data suffer from the survivorship bias? How did the performance of strategy changes over the years? Does the strategy suffer from a data snooping bias? Does the strategy flying under radar instructional managers? Chapter 3: Backtesting. Common backtesting platforms: Excel, MATLAB, TradeStation. High-end backtesting platforms: finding and using historical databases, data splits, and the dividend adjusted, data survivorship bias is free. Does your strategy use high and low data? Performance management. Common backtesting pitfalls to avoid. Look ahead bias, data snooping bias, transaction costs, strategy refinements. Number 4, set up for your business. The business strategy is retail for proprietary, choosing a brokerage or proprietary trading firm, physical infrastructures. Number 5, execution systems. What an automated trading system can do for you. Building a semi-automated trading system, building a fully automated trading system, testing your paper trading. Does actual performing diverge? For expectations summaries. Money and risk management. Optimal capital allocation and leverage, risk management, physical, psychological preparedness, a simple deriv- the simple derivation of Kelly formula when returns distribution is kosher. Chapter 7: Spatial topic in quantitative trading. Mean reverting versus momentum strategies, regiment switching strategy, and cointegration for factor models. What is your exits strategies, seasonal trading strategies, high frequency trading strategies? Is it better to have a high leverage versus a high beta? Conclusive: can independent traders succeed? Appendix A, B, C. A. A quick survey of MATLAB bibliograph about the author. By some estimates, quantitative or algorithmic trading now accounts for over one-third of the trading volume in the United States. There are, of course, innumerables of books and advanced mathematics and strategies utilized by international institutional traders in this arena. However, the independent retail trader benefit from these algorithms, and can individual limits resources, computing powers, backtest, and execute their strategies over the thousands of stocks and come to challenge the powerful industry and participants of their own game. I will show you this how you can in fact can be achieved. Who is this book? I wrote this book in two types of readers: aspiring independent readers who are looking to start a quantitative trading business, students of finance or other technical disciplines at the undergraduate or MBA level who aspire to become a quantitative trader, portfolio managers at major institutions. Can these two very different groups of readers benefit from some of the knowledge and skills? Is there any common between the managing a 100 million portfolio managing a 100,000 portfolios? My contention is that it is much more logical and sensible for someone to become a profitable 100,000 trader before becoming a profitable 100 million trader. This can be shown as true on many fronts. Many legislative quantitative hedge funds managers, as Dr. Edward Thorpe of former Princeton Newport partner founder, 2005, Dr. Jim Simpson of Renaissance Technologies Corp. Started their careers trading on their own money. They did not begin as portfolio managers for investment banks and hedge funds before starting their own fund management business. Of course, there are plenty of counter examples, and it's clearly is a possible route to riches as well as intellectual accomplishments for someone with an entrepreneurial bent and preferred route. Even if your goal is to become an institutional trader, it's still worthwhile to start your own trading business at first stop. Physicists and mathematicians are now swarming to Wall Street. Few people on Wall Street are impressive by a mere PhD from a prestige company anymore. What is the shortest way to get through the door of the top banks and funds to show that you have a systematic way to profits? In other words, a track record. Quite apart from the serving as a stepstone to a lucrative career in a big institution, having a profitable track record as an independent trader is an valuable experience in itself. The experience forces you to focus on simple but profitable strategies, but not get sidetracked by overly theoretical and sophisticated theories. It also forces you to focus on the nitty-gritty of quantitative trading that you won't learn from most books. Things such as how to build an order entry system that doesn't cost that cost 10,000 of programming resources. Most importantly, it is forced you to focus on risk management. After all, your own personal bankruptcy is possible here. Finally, having been an institutional as well as retail quantitative trader strategist at different times, I long wish to had reread similar books before I started my career at the bank. I would have achieved profitability many years sooner. Given these preambles, I won't make any further apologies in the rest of the books in focusing on the entrepreneurial independent trader and how they can build a quantitative trading business on their own, while hoping that many of the lessons will be useful for their way for institutional money management as well. What is the background do you need? Despite the scary sound title, you don't need a match of computer ways in order to use this book as a guide to trade quantitatively. Yes, you do need to possess some basic knowledge of statistics, such as your calculate out of the averages, standard deviations, and how to fit a straight line through a set of data points. Yes, you also need to have some basic familiar with Excel, but what you do need is advanced knowledge of stochastic calculus, neural networks, and other impressive sounding techniques. Though it is true that you can make millions without nothing more than Excel, it is true that there is another tool if you are proficient at it, if it enables you to backtest trading strategies much more and efficiently, and may also allow you to retrieve and process data more and more easily than you otherwise can. This tool is called MATLAB. It is a mathematical platform that many institutional quantitative strategists and portfolio managers use. Therefore, I will demonstrate how to backtest the majority of strategies using MATLAB. In fact, I have included a brief tutorial in the appendix on how to do some basic programming in MATLAB. For some retail traders, MATLAB is too expensive to purchase, but there is cheaper alternatives. I will mention in Chapter 3 on backtesting. Furthermore, in many university students can either purchase a cheaper student MATLAB license or they can already have free access to their school. What will you find in this book? This book is definitely not as thick as encyclopedia of quantitative trading techniques or technologies. It will even develop specific profitable strategies. Also, you can find a few example strategies embedded here to make them quite profitable. Instead, it is a book that teaches you how to find profitable strategies yourself. It teaches you the characteristics of a good strategy and how to refine a backtest strategy to ensure that it's a good historical performance, and how importantly to ensure that it remain profitable in the future. It teaches you the systematic way to scale up and wind down your strategies depending on their real-life profitable. It teaches you some of the nuts and bolts of implementing an automated exclusion system of your own home. Finally, it teaches you the basics of risk management, which is critical if you want to survive over the long term. And also some psychological pitfall to avoid if you want an enjoyable and not just a profitable life as a trader. Even though the basic techniques to find for the good strategy will work for any tradable securities. If I focus on my examples for the areas of trading, I personally notice that statistical arbitrage trading in stocks, while I discuss source of the historical data on stocks, future, foreign currencies in chapters and backtestings. I will include options because these are not my areas of expertise. The book is organized roughly in the order of steps of the traders need to undertake to set up their quantitative trading businesses. These steps can begin at defining variable trading strategies, Chapter 2, then backtesting the strategies to ensure that it leads to good historical performances, set up the business at artificial technological infrastructure, building at automatic trading systems, executive strategies, managing the money and risks involved in holding the positions and generated developed strategies. I will also describe in Chapter 7 a number of important advances the concept with which the most professional quantitative traders are familiar. This finally included Chapter 8 with reflections on how independent traders can find their niche and then can grow their business. I have also included the appendix that contains a tutorial on use MATLABs. You will see the two different types of boxes materials in these books. The sidebars containing the elaborations, illustrations of concepts and examples of companies by the lab of basic sales. For readers who want to learn more about and keep up to date with the latest news, ideas, and trends in quantitative trading, they are welcome to visit my website epcchan.blogspot.com, where I will do my best to answer the questions, as well as my premium content website epcchan.web/subscriptions. My premium content website contains articles of more advanced nature as well as backtest results of several pitfalls of strategies. Readers of this book will be free access to the premium content and will find password in the later chapters to find that website. Acknowledgement. Much of my acknowledgement and experiences in quantitative trading is from my colleagues and mentors of various investment banks, Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse, Maple Securities, and hedge funds Maple Hirsch. Capital Millennium Partners, Man Fund and Management. I'm very grateful for their advice, guidance, and help over the years. Since I became an independent traders consultant, I've benefited enormously from the discussion of my clients' readers from my blogs. Following blogs, various traders, collaborators. In particular, I would like to offer thanks to Stephen Harpins and Raymond Cummins for reading parts of the manuscripts and correcting some of the errors, John Reeks for suggesting some of the topics of my blogs and main fonts of this book, and then Aston's editor-in-chief tradingmod.com will help syndicate my blogs and then to answers the public slides to readers of his own very popular investment blog. I am also indebted to the editors Bill Falcon, Ellie, John Wiley, and Sons for suggesting this book, and to my development editors Ali Herman and productions editorial Christina Bergen for seeing this book through the fruition. Last but not least, I thank Betsy for insisting that simplicity is the best policy. EPC. Quantitative trading.